Hello everyone, it's Coach Ro from RocioFlores.com, and today is Friday, and we are doing our daily life Bible reading. Today I'm reading Genesis chapter 45, and we are continuing the story of Joseph. So from, I got it written down. I have this little lineage of everything he went through. From being sold to slavery, becomes a right arm, becomes a prisoner, becomes an interpreter, becomes the top right ruler of Egypt. Now his brothers come over, he sells them stuff, he kind of tricks them into coming back and forth. And now we're going to finish the entirety of them coming back and forth and him. Remember, this last time that what we read yesterday was that he had them take and bring all of his brothers, and now he is going to reveal his identity. So Joseph reveals his identity is the title for this section, and I'm only going to do that one chapter so that next week we just do one chapter and we finish off the book of Genesis, and we can start with Exodus the week after that. So yes. All right, so what I'm going to do too is I'm going to put this on the screen here, and I just wanted to let you guys know. So okay, first and foremost, if you haven't been catching up with all of this, or you want to go back and just listen to all of Genesis or listen to the book of Job, those are the books that we've done so far this year, you can go to bit.ly/Rose Daily Life Bible Reading. I already have a playlist on there and all of it's on there. And then tonight, because I'm sure you guys know we can't go anywhere because of the whole, coronavirus and everything that's going on. If you guys want to watch church, so if you want to join in with the church community, my church does it Friday nights and Tuesday nights. So I'm going to be watching from our living room with my family, and all of our families kind of connecting from around the places on their phones, on Facebook or YouTube. And you can connect too. I usually share this Friday night, so I'm just going to go ahead and share that with you guys. If you go to waypoints.live, you can click on there to watch with us tonight at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Also, if you click on there, you're able to also from there sign up for Right Now Media, which is a kind of a program where you get to, kind of like a YouVersion on the app, where you get to do a lot of different Bible readings. You get to access a bunch of different movies and shows and studies and teachings and readings and all that kind of stuff. And so if you go to waypoints.live, you're able to do that. You're also able to set up groups and stuff like that. So it'll be cool if you guys join us, and that way we don't feel lonely. So you guys don't feel lonely either, wherever it is that you are. Hello! So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and just start the reading right now. Okay. It's not long today, so it should go quickly. All right, 45. Joseph could no longer keep his composure in front of all of his attendants, so he called out, "Send everyone away from me." No one was with him when he revealed his identity to his brothers. But he wept so loudly that the Egyptians heard it, and also Pharaoh's household heard it. You guys hear that sound? That's my cat, who decided to just run into the carpet and push it. Sorry about that. Let me continue. Joseph said to his brothers, "I am Joseph. Is my father still living?" But his brothers were too terrified to answer him. Then Joseph said to his brothers, "Please, come near me." And they came near. "I am Joseph, your brother," he said, "the one you sold into Egypt. And now, don't be worried or angry with yourselves for selling me here, because God sent me ahead of you to preserve life. For the famine has been in the land these 2 years, and there will be 5 more years without plowing or harvesting. God sent me ahead of you to establish you as a remnant with the land, and to keep you alive by great deliverance. Therefore," hello. Oh, thank you for the little hearts, guys. I was I'm thinking, if I'm talking to the people on the live, when I post it later on YouTube, that's not on there. And so it must just look weird if I'm suddenly hello, talking to random people. I am doing good. Thank you so much for asking. Seems like so I've been having cough and stuff like that, so I've been staying home. And, just in case, because, everybody's sick. I don't want to get anybody else sick in any way. And so it seems like all of that's going away. So hopefully. I think I'm just somebody who gets, I get coughs easily. I get sick easily. I can slow down a little. I'm sorry if I'm going too fast. Well, I'll continue though. Okay. Therefore, it was not you who sent me here, but God. He has made me a father to Pharaoh, lord of his entire household, and ruler over all the land of Egypt. Return quickly to my father and say to him, this is what your son Joseph says. God has made me lord of all Egypt. Come down to me without delay. You can settle in the land of Goshen and be near me, you and your children and grandchildren, your sheep, cattle, and all you have. There I will sustain you, for there will be 5 more years of famine. 1 second. Now I gotta find my spot again. Where'd it go? Okay, otherwise you, your household, and everything you have will become destitute. Look, your eyes and my brother's Benjamin's eyes can see that it is I, Joseph, who am speaking to you. Tell my father about my glory in Egypt and about all you have seen, and bring my father here quickly." Then Joseph threw his arms around Benjamin and Benjamin wept on his shoulder. Joseph kissed each of his brothers as he wept, and afterwards his brothers talked with him. The return for Jacob. 16. When the news reached Pharaoh's palace, Joseph's brothers have come. Pharaoh and his servants were pleased. Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Tell your brothers, do this. Load your animals and go on back to the land of Canaan. Get your father and your families and come back to me. I will give you the best of the land of Egypt, and you can eat from the richness of the land. You are also commanded, do this. Take wagons from the land of Egypt for your young children and your wives, and bring your father here. Do not be concerned about your belongings, for the best of all the land of Egypt is yours." Isn't that cool? Like, the fact that, like, especially thinking, like, there were people from different lands, to think, like, he trusted him so much and he was loving him so much that he was like, "I'm gonna give of what I have and allow your people to live here," and we do find out later that as time passes, they're not as friendly because, they actually end up making the Hebrew people slaves. But that's not this guy right now. The Pharaoh that's in here right now, he's nice and he likes Joseph and he's willing to be helpful with him. Okay. The sons of Israel did this. Joseph gave them wagons as Pharaoh had commanded, and he gave them provisions for the journey. He gave each of the brothers changes of clothes, but he gave Benjamin 300 pieces of silver and 5 changes of clothes. He sent his father the following: 10 donkeys carrying the best products of Egypt, and 10 female donkeys carrying grain, food, and provisions for his father on the journey. So Joseph sent his brothers on their way, and as they were leaving, he said to them, "Don't argue on the way." That's funny to me, because that is what you would tell to your brothers if they were people who were such easily fighting that they were willing to sell one of the brothers into slavery. Like, we get mad at our siblings, but we're not, like, out doing anything to them. So they went up from Egypt and came to their father Jacob in the land of Canaan. They said, "Joseph is still alive, and he is ruler over all the land of Egypt." Jacob was stunned, for he did not believe them. But when they told Jacob all that Joseph had said to them, and when he saw their wagons that Joseph had sent to transport him, the spirit of their father Jacob revived. Then Israel said, "Enough. My son Joseph is still alive. I will go to see him before I die." Remember, Jacob and Israel are the same person. They just interchanged his name. I don't know why they don't just continue on with his name from the beginning. Because he becomes Israel the moment God said, "Your name's Israel." But can you imagine? That must be an amazing feeling to think that you thought your child had died, and now years later you find out that he's actually alive. That must be amazing. I'm just, especially understanding that as he's older, there's a closer chance of dying and actually, like, not being able to have seen his kids again. And it was, especially back then, it was probably a big risk to send your kids anywhere because, they lived in a time where life was not that, like, it was uncertain whether or not people were going to come back after taking huge trips. So I'm sure that he's very happy right now. So that's it for today. That's the reading. Next week we will go on and finish the book of Genesis and then move on to Exodus. And basically, what happens is the book of Genesis is like a very long time span from, like, the beginning of the creation to them coming into the land of Egypt. And then suddenly it's like a 400-year split. 400 years, we don't know what, they don't really talk about what's happening there. And then the book of Exodus starts. And that's a little bit more, a shorter amount of time and time frame. So, and it's written by the person who actually wrote all of this down. So it'll be interesting. I think there's a lot of cool things to share on there. But thank you so much for watching. Just remember that if you want to watch church online and kind of join in with the community, I'll be sharing that on my Facebook page. I'll be sharing it on my, so I'll probably be watching it on YouTube. And then I'll also be sharing it here in a little bit on a post on my Instagram. And I'll put the link, which is easy, waypoints.live. And you guys can watch along with us. And yeah, that way, in case you're bored at home and you don't have anything to do, just come in with a community, right? So thank you so much for watching on here. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay safe and stay healthy. And reach out if you need any kind of resources or help. Have a good one. Bye, guys.